before 10:30, no later than drop them drawers. I know what you want. I ask myself, is this shit real? I contemplate about how I feel, but you make it way too hard to think.
Hey beauty babies, it's Mookie and welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that post notification bell so that you get all my videos once they get uploaded and you do not miss another freaking video. Try not to do that so loud, y'all. My son is sleeping. We do not want to wake him. Okay. Sorry for the noise, y'all. I got this new mic. Well, an old fake ass friend got me this mic and I really like it, but it picks up literally everything. So where do I start? I guess I'll start from when I got married. I got married January 5th. And things would get better because like his family will always tell me like Brian has changed so much. He's like a better person since he's with you. And I will always think in my head like, because before they even knew shit that was going on, um, I didn't tell them for a minute either. Um, I will always think in my head like, damn, if this what y'all think is a better person, I just could have only imagined how he treated other women, before me. So yeah, we got married. Um, and I feel like once we got married is when shit really went downhill. Like I feel like it was more like he owned me. That's what he tried to treat me like. He tried to treat me like pretty much like he owned me. Um, he would get mad when I go out. So I stopped really going out with my friends. Not even my friends, my cousins. The times that, they did come to California and I would like go out. This is when I stayed in California. Um, and I would go out. He would get mad when I go out. It was just like he probably didn't look at it like that, but it was like a control thing. Um, all he did was cheat. Literally, all he did was cheat. Cheat in my car, cheat in his car. Like, I'm just, I'm literally gonna just because it's so much shit that I can speak on. But if I speak on it, I'll be probably speaking for 2 days or 2 days. I will be telling this story for like 2 days. So I'm gonna just jot it down to where I get to like the key points and um, the most important parts and the parts where I feel like I knew I had to walk away from the marriage. So let's back it up. We're gonna back it up just a little bit. So I got engaged October. Um, Probably it's the beginning of October of 2020. Yeah, because he came home in 2019. So yeah, we got engaged October. of 2020. And November of 2020 is the first incident which really triggered me is when he first pulled out um, a gun on me. We were at his baby mama's birthday party. She had threw a party, because like I said, I'm gonna back it up because this is the first incident that really like just opened my eyes and I was like, the fuck. Yeah, we were at his baby mama's party, um, at her house. And of course, me, I've never been the type of girl to be jealous. Of course, everybody know I like girls too, so I don't really care when we go to like stripper parties and stuff like that. And like my man is letting the strippers dance all on him or throwing money and shit like that. I'm gonna be right there on the side, like, yeah, like, I'm gonna be right there on the side, and that's what I was doing. We were just having a good time or whatever. But in the midst of her party, he took it a little too far. Um, he ended up trying to talk to the stripper bitch. Her name was Candy or some shit like that. Yeah, he ended up trying to talk to the stripper bitch or whatever while I was there at the party. Um, Mind you, it was his baby mama's party, so it was at her house, and the strippers were in her room getting dressed or whatever. I want to say, yeah, this the party was kind of over, so the strippers are in her room getting dressed or whatever. So I noticed he's gone for a minute. Mind you, we had already been drinking, but I wasn't drunk, y'all. If I can remember and I can tell y'all a story, I definitely wasn't drunk. Um, so yeah, he had disappeared for a while, and I'm just like asking everybody like where Brian at or whatever, and they're like, oh, he's in the back, he's in the room or whatever. So not gonna lie, I bust in the baby mama room, and I'm like, you got me so fucked up. Like I guess he in there trying to talk to the bitch or whatever. Mind you, while I'm out in the backyard with his baby mama or whatever. And so I walk in there and I'm just like, you got me fucked up. Like I'm ready to go. Mind you, I had to go to work the next day or whatever. So I'm like, I'm ready to go. So he started tripping. He like doing hella shit. He calling me all out of my name. He's like, bitch, you fucking up my money. I guess because before he went to jail, he used to be like this pimp or whatever. So when he came home from jail, he still had this like pimp mentality, like he still wanted to be a pimp or whatever. And I'm just trying to tell him, like, nigga, bitches are not hoeing for niggas nowadays. Like they're hoeing for themselves. They're not hoeing for niggas nowadays. Like you really gonna find a bitch that's gonna hoe for you. Like, what is you on? Like, get your own money. That's the type of shit that I was on. But he was just like on some old other shit or whatever. So yeah, he gets mad and he's like, you hella boosie, like you a boosie ass bitch. Just talk to me like I'm just nothing. Mind you, we had just got engaged in October. This is November now. And so I'm like, I'm ready to go or whatever. So now I'm finna leave him because at the time he didn't have no car. I had only had a car or whatever. So I'm like, I'm about to leave or whatever. So I'm trying to walk out the door or whatever. And as I'm like walking to the front door, um, mind you, we going at it first. We going at it or whatever. We arguing and shit. And so as I'm like walking towards the door, he grabs me like by my shirt and he chokes me. So he's choking me against the wall or whatever. And his baby mama, her other baby daddy was there too. He ended up seeing it or whatever, and so he grabbed him. He like, B, you tripping, like y'all can't be doing that shit up in here, like you tripping. Mind you, this is the first time like he's done other shit to me, but he's never actually like put his hands on me that far. And so this was the first time like he ever like really put his hands on me. And so then he's like choking me. And when I tell y'all, I'm already 5'8". Brian is probably like 6'1" or so. So he got a little bit of height over me or whatever. When I tell y'all he's choking me, I'm talking about choking me like I'm a real ass nigga, like damn near got my feet off the ground, kind of choking me. So I'm like fighting him, like pushing him, like trying to get him off of me. So I'm like mushing his face or whatever so I can leave or whatever. And I'm like, you hella boozy. So we just going back and forth, back and forth. So we ended up getting outside of the door, and his baby mama, other baby daddy, walking him out. He like, you tripping, like, y'all gotta be cool. You doing all this shit here, and the police gonna come here and da da da. And so he's still mad, over the stripper bitch that he can't even get to or whatever. I guess I fucked up his motion, so he was mad about that. And so then I'm standing outside now. I'm crying because I'm just like, the nigga really just choked me out in front of everybody like I'm just some random ass bitch or whatever. And so he's still in my face and he's calling me all kind of bitches and shit like that. And so we going back and forth. If y'all know me, those that know me, I'ma argue with you to the ground, baby. I'ma go back and forth with you to the ground. I'm gonna always have the last word, or I'ma always say what I need to be said, what needs to be said. And so I guess what I was saying was getting to him or whatever. So I'm standing like right here, he's standing right here. And so he got his gun in his hoodie jacket or whatever. So he put his gun up to my side and he like, bitch, I'll shoot you right now or whatever. And I'm looking at him like, you serious? Like, you can't be serious. So then that's when his baby mama, I'm not gonna say her name or whatever, his baby mama sister, she ended up grabbing me. And she ended up grabbing me because then I broke down. And I'm just like, I can't believe, like this nigga really just put a gun up to my side. And so she set me like on the curb or whatever, because now I'm by my car but he has my car keys. And so I'm sitting down on the curb, and now I'm like having a whole panic attack because I'm just like couldn't believe like this nigga really did this in front of everybody. And so I'm just sitting there, I'm talking about my hands are shaking like because he ain't never did this, was the first time he ever pulled a gun out on me or whatever. And so I ended up getting a hotel because we stayed all the way in Stockton, which was like um an hour and something away from where we were. And then my job was already like probably like 20 minutes from his baby mama house. So I was just like, I'm gonna just get a hotel. So we got a hotel, whatever. We get back to the hotel, he act like nothing happened. Literally nothing happened. He did that all the time. Like he literally did that all the time. Like we would get into it the next day or the next hour, he'd act like nothing happened, like just randomly, just. So that was the first incident. So now let's fast forward to us getting married. We got married in January of 2021. And so, things was cool or whatever. It was, he did apologize for the situation and he said it was never gonna happen again or whatever like that. And of course I believed him. I never been put in no situation like that, so I was just like, maybe he was drunk. um I think I made up excuses for him just to, like, believe him or whatever. And so yeah, once we got married, I feel like it really went downhill. He started being like kind of controlling or whatever. He would get mad when I would try to go out and shit like that. And like it was just horrible. If you ask me, my first experience for being married, he made it a horrible, horrible, horrible experience. Um, then the second incident was, I'll never forget it because I knew I had made a mistake of marrying him. That was March, I'm gonna say 14th, because we ended up going to Vegas with his family. Um, that day I had ended up going to, I think, a funeral. I went to a funeral that day, and then I had came home. And mind you, that day I had booked us tickets to go with his family to Vegas because around his birthday is his nephew's birthday. So they were doing like this big family trip or whatever, and they was going to Vegas for his nephew's birthday. But they were also going to celebrate Brian's birthday too. So of course his son was over there. At the time I didn't have my son; it was just my daughter and then it was, you know, his oldest son or whatever. So my baby is really small at this time. She's probably like two, maybe two or whatever. Yeah, maybe two. Um, and we ended up getting into it again about his son. Um, I don't know, that's what happened. His son had, because he ended up, so on his PlayStation, he ended up using my card on his PlayStation, but he never took my card off of his PlayStation. So his son ended up ordering, like, I want to say like $100 worth of stuff onto my card, and I told him, and I'm like, Brian, your son, you know, used my card or whatever, and so it just went left. It always go left. Like once you say something about his son, or if he's in the wrong about something, he'll always make it go left. So it went left. We going back and forth, or whatever. At this time, he put his hands on me or whatever. So I'm like, okay, nigga, I'm tired of you putting your hands on me now. Now, one thing I could say is he's never actually balled up his fist and like socked me like a nigga. Like he's never done that. But as far as choking me out and like mushing my face and just doing other crazy ass shit, like he's put his hands on me or whatever. And so we get into it or whatever, and now he putting his hand in my face like this, and we're going back and forth, and he know I hate once he put his hand, because he always does this to my head or whatever, like I'm a little kid. So I smack his hand on my face, and so we started fighting, and like I said, he never actually like punched me, not that time. Um, but he always like grabbed me by my clothes, trying to slang me around the room and shit like that or whatever. So now I had to show him, like, nigga, I can really beat you up. Like I can really beat you up, but I've never wanted to be in a relationship where I had to fight. In that whole relationship, I felt like I just had to fight, 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 and it was just like I'm tired. So we ended up getting into it. Mind you, we were in a corner like this, and he had me, he choking me damn near off my feet again. So now I got his face, and I put my nails in his face. Um, I ended up slamming him on the ground. The way my bed was, I have a king size bed, so, and then I had the dresser with the mirror on it, so it was like a little bit of room, like this much room, and so I ended up knocking him down on the ground. So now he's between the bed and the dresser. So I guess that made him mad, because now I'm finna fight you. I'm finna beat you up now. And so at this point now I'm damn near fighting for my fucking life. So I had my foot like in his neck or whatever. When I'm mad, I got crackhead strength, okay? So I got my foot in his neck. My baby is on the bed. Mind y'all, I didn't want to fight. I never want to fight. Like, I don't want to fight no nigga. And so we're going back and forth or whatever. I got my foot in his neck or whatever. And then after that, I'm like, you gonna stop fucking with me? Like, you gonna stop putting your hands on me and whatever. And so I ended up letting him up. So when I let him up, he pulled his gun out the drawer. He pulled his gun out the drawer. But by the time I let him up, I ended up grabbing my baby. And so I'm finna try to walk out the room, with my baby, and he grabbed his gun out the drawer, and it was no other way I can go, because I had a patio, so it was only my patio, and if I was to go out the patio, I'm gonna be just, I mean, out my door, I will be just on the patio, and there's nowhere I can go. So he grabbed his gun, he cocks it back this time, and he have it in my face, and he's like, bitch, I'll shoot you right in front of your daughter, I'll blow your motherfucking brains out. And then I'm just looking at him, and I'm just like, do it. And so now I'm pissed off, because my baby is right there. So I got my baby, and I got my baby like this, and so I'm like trying to turn her away or whatever. So this is why I never tell this story. This is why I never tell this story, because still to this day it fucks with me.
because he really could have killed me in front of my daughter. And so, I grab my baby and I'll just hold my baby tight and I'm like, do it. I'm like, you a bitch. And so now I'm really mad. I'm like, you a bitch. What kind of nigga pull out a gun on his fiance? I mean, no, at the time I was his wife. I said, what kind of nigga pull out a gun on his wife and you claim you love us and you love my daughter? I said, you supposed to protect us. I said, I don't trust you. I said, so do it. I said, that makes you a man. Do it. And so he ended up putting the gun down or whatever. And so I'm like, I'm not going to Vegas. So now, at this time now, I'm really pissed off because I don't know why I couldn't believe it because this is the second time pulling a gun out on me. But it was like the bond that he had with my daughter, I wouldn't have never guessed that he would do that in front of my daughter. And so I'm like, I'm not going nowhere. Mind you, we had to be on a flight probably like 11 o'clock that night. We had to be on a flight. And so he called his mom. He tried to tell his mom like, "Oh yeah, Mookie said she's not going. She don't want to go," but he never mentioned why I didn't want to go, whatever. So she's like, "Let me talk to Mookie or whatever." Um, they were already on at the airport about to be going to Vegas. So I get on the phone, I'm like, "Hello," and she's like, "Mookie, what's going on?" And so I broke down and I said, Brian pulled the gun out on me in front of my daughter. I said, I'm not going nowhere with him. And so, like, her response, it was just like as if they were used to it. And so, she was like, she just like, y'all need to stop. Y'all need to get it together. And it was just like, it wasn't like a concerned parent, like, what the fuck you mean he pulled the gun out on you? It was like as if this is what the fuck he does, like, you know. And so I just got it together and I was just like, fuck it. I had already spent my money on the tickets. Um, I was just like, whatever. So I sucked it up like I always did. And we got on the flight. We went out there. And the whole time I was just like, blah. Like, um, we took pictures. Like, the stuff that I do have in my phone still, I will put like on the screen and stuff like that. But yeah, we went to Vegas or whatever, and I just like always act like nothing happened. But I really didn't want to be there. And then too, I had caught COVID. That was my first time catching COVID. We all had caught COVID. So then we came home. Of course, I didn't give up on my marriage or whatever. I thought things would get better, and I just kept thinking things would get better. Um, we just kept arguing, kept fighting, and the whole time my mom didn't know nothing. My granny didn't know nothing. Nobody knew nothing but my fave. That's the only family member that really knew something, knew what was going on because I was telling her. Um, but as time continued to go on or whatever, the same shit just kept reoccurring. Eventually, he did stop pulling his gun out on me because he knew I had a gun. But my thing is, I'm the type of person, if I pull out my gun, I'm going to really shoot you. I'm not just going to pull it out just to scare you. I'm going to really shoot you. So I've never, never, never pulled out my gun ever on him. Um, so then we ended up going to Hawaii. That was supposed to be like, it was like our honeymoon kind of Father's Day gift to him or whatever. I surprised him with going to Hawaii. The night before Hawaii, we ended up getting into it again. We ended up getting into it too, and he was like, "Bitch, I don't need you," and "Bitch, I don't have to go anywhere," and da da da. It was just a whole big ass thing. It was just always something until he knew that I was doing something for him, and then he would like eventually get it together. Um, so after that, I just continued with the marriage, and I just continued to hide shit. But as I was hiding stuff, it was just like
tearing me down. It was like I was losing who I was as a person, and a few people were seeing that. And after that, I became so distant. Like after the second incident of him pulling the gun out on me, I knew I didn't want the marriage no more. I knew I didn't want it no more, but I continued to try to make it work because I didn't want to fail my daughter. Um, I didn't want people to be like, because I feel like so many people had so much doubt in our marriage. I was so busy trying to prove people wrong, but the whole time they were right that the marriage wasn't gonna work. Um, so yeah, we're gonna fast forward to when I got pregnant with my son. Because like I said, so many events took place, and I'm trying to remember. I did jot down some things. Hold on, in my phone. Yeah. So let's go to when I got pregnant with Mason. So when I got pregnant with Mason, Mason was not my first pregnancy. I had got pregnant um 2 times before Mason. So the first time I got pregnant, he pretty much made me get an abortion because I really didn't want to, but he was just like, he's not ready for a baby. He didn't want no baby right now, and I'm the type, even though I know I can take care of my kids on my own, I'm not gonna have a baby by a man who don't want to have a baby or whatever. So yeah, he didn't want the baby, and at first I was just like, I was gonna keep my baby or whatever, and if he didn't want to be there, he didn't have to be there. And so he was just like verbally abusing me pretty much. Then he was just like, bitch, why would you keep a baby that I don't want? And blase, blase. He really treated me like shit. I ain't gonna lie, that man really treated me like shit. Um, if the good outweighed the bad was definitely winning. Um, yeah, so I ended up getting an abortion, and stupid me, I ended up getting pregnant again. Of course, I was married, so it was just like I was just trying to make my marriage work or whatever. I didn't, like I said, I didn't want to fail my kids, my daughter, because my daughter was just so in love with him, and he was good to my baby. You know, he was, besides him pulling that gun out with my daughter right there. You know, everywhere. If I was at work, he took my baby. Whether he was cheating, taking my baby with him, he took my baby. You know, his mom took my daughter in, and you know, pretty much like, I'm not raised her because I raised my own kid, but you know, accepted her as if she was her biologically, you know, granddaughter. Um, so yeah, my daughter was like so in love with him, and like he was so in love with my daughter. At least I thought. And so that's what really made me stay so long. And then I got pregnant for the second time. And then the second time that I got pregnant, he wanted to keep the baby. He wanted to keep the baby, and I say this all the time, that that was God. That was a sign from God telling me, do not have a baby by this man. Like, it's not meant for you to have a baby by this man. Second time I got pregnant, um, I did my first ultrasound, and it was a baby there, but they said they couldn't find a heartbeat. So they told me I had to wait like a couple of weeks, let the baby grow a little bit, and then come back and to see if the baby had a heartbeat. And my OBGYN was like, you know, if the baby didn't have a heartbeat, that, you know, it was, I was having a miscarriage. I was going to have a miscarriage. And so when I did go back, they still couldn't find my baby's heartbeat. And so I had to
They had to do it to where I went into labor and I had the baby. And so yeah, I had a miscarriage. The second, right before I had Mason, I had a miscarriage. And I was like, that's God. But I didn't realize that until everything started crashing down. That it wasn't meant for me to have no kid by him. But my son, he was a blessing, because my son, he's so attached to me. And just like my daughter, they mean the world to me. But my son, he's like this with me. And so I got pregnant with my son. I got pregnant with my son, and he wanted my son, and things were okay for a while. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna thug my marriage out, and maybe it'll get better. It'll get better. And then I want to say I was a few months pregnant with my son, and honestly, y'all, I don't even know what half these arguments was about. Half the time, he just wanted to get into it with me because he was cheating, and he wanted to have a way to leave and go cheat and do whatever he wanted to do. So he would pick arguments with me purposely. So I was a few months pregnant with my son. We ended up getting into it. Um, yeah, we ended up getting into it with my son. Mind you, I'm pregnant with my son, so it's not much I can really do. Um, he's choking me like always, and he's like slanging me around or whatever. And I'm just like, I'm pregnant. Like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, you're stupid. And so I started having cramps. So he was keeping me like hostage in the house. So I couldn't even leave to like go to the hospital or whatever. So I ended up calling my granny. It's 1:50 in the morning. I wish I could call my granny so she can vouch for me so y'all know I'm not lying. I ended up calling my granny. It was like 3 in the morning. And I said, Granny, I said, I'm having cramps. I said, can you come over here and take me to the hospital? I could have drove myself to the hospital, but he was keeping me hostage in the house because he thought that I was going to tell my granny what was happening. But not once did I ever tell my granny. I didn't call my mom. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell nobody. When I tell y'all I protected this man, I protected him like he was my fucking child. So my granny ended up coming. She stayed on the other side of Stockton. My granny ended up coming at 3 in the morning, and I was just crying, but I never told her, nothing that happened. She, of course, she is thinking that I'm worried or whatever the whole time. This nigga doing shit to me, and this is why I have to go to the hospital now. So he's texting me. He's like, "Are you okay?" I get to the hospital and he's texting me. He's like, "Are you okay? What's going on? What are they saying?" No, before that, right? Let's rewind it. Before that, he calls his birth mom because he has two moms. He has his mom that raised him, and he has the birth mom, the one that ain't shit, the bitch that ain't shit. So he calls his birth mom and he's talking shit, and um he's like, yeah, now she talking about her stomach cramping, but she think I'm stupid. She just trying to get over to her granny house so she could talk shit about me and tell her granny all kinds of shit about me. The whole time my stomach was really cramping, and I had really, sorry y'all, I'm probably making so much noise with this mic. And I really needed to go to the hospital the whole time. His mama not even telling him like, you wrong. You need to, you need to be cool. Like, I feel like his mama was so scared of him, or like she knew that she missed out on so much of his life that she condoned a lot of the shit that he did. She never was like, Brian, you're wrong. Like, even though she knew that he was wrong, she never spoke up. She never said nothing. So yeah, my granny ended up coming to get me. She took me to the hospital. I took my daughter with me, and my daughter had ended up staying at my granny's house. Yeah, I wish I can call my granny right now and bring this situation up to her, just so she can vouch for me and say, yeah, I did. Um, and so I ended up going back home in the morning time. Of course, he acted like nothing happened. Everything was fine. And like always, I just, I had to sweep it under the rug and like continue with life. And I feel like that's really where I fucked up at, is because I protected him so much, and I hid so much from my family because I didn't know how to let go. I didn't know how to let go, even though I didn't need him, because literally I took care of everything. I paid all the bills while he cheated and he disrespected me time and time and time again in my own house. I let this happen. So, of course, I take accountability, because if I didn't let this shit happen so long, it wouldn't have. That's my son. So yeah, after that, that incident, he didn't put his hands on me no more. I finished my pregnancy. It was cool. It was a smooth ride. After that, we did the baby shower. Of course, I paid for everything. Um, but it was my son, so for my kid, I'm gonna always go all out. And everything was smooth. It was smooth up until um after my son was born. Yeah, after my son is born, um, we would get into little arguments because, like, for instance, I wanted him and my son and us to go take, family pictures so that my kids, because I always said, I don't have pictures from when like I was a baby, so I can't even tell y'all what I looked like as a baby, y'all. Um, so I always wanted to make sure that my kids had like, memories and stuff like that as a small kid up until, you know, far beyond or whatever. So yeah, we would get into it because he would be like, oh, his oldest son isn't there. So he's not going to go take no pictures without his oldest son. Mind you, his oldest son did not live with us. So it's not that, we were leaving him out, but he's not going to be able to make everything because he does not live with us. So you mean to tell me that you're not going to take pictures with our son that we have together because your oldest son is not here? He's not going to always make it because half the time his mama don't even want him, out here, or half the time he can't come or he can't make it, or is this or is that. So it's like you're going to neglect my son of having memories with you, his dad, because your oldest son couldn't make it. I just thought that was bullshit. So we would get into it like over shit like that. And then like I said, I continue to try. That's one thing he can never say I didn't try. I tried to hold my marriage together for so long. I did everything to try to hold my marriage together until I just couldn't no more. Um, then everything became so overwhelming. It became overwhelming because I became a mother of two. I'm pretty much doing everything on my own because his life just continues like as if he doesn't have a baby. I'm always in the house with the kids. I'm not really going out because when I do try to go out, he pick an argument with me because he knew that I was the type, if he tried to argue with me, I'm not gonna go out. I'm just gonna stay in. So he would do shit like that. So I'm not gonna say life became miserable for me, but life became kind of miserable for me. I was in a marriage where I wasn't happy. Like I said, I had two kids that I was pretty much taking care of by myself, but yet I'm married. Um, I'm taking care of all the bills by myself, but yet I'm still married. And so it became so much. And, my best friend, even my best friend, a lot of people started to see it, but my best friend is the one who really spoke up and was like, bitch, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And she would always tell me something's wrong. And I'd be like, I'm fine. I'm fine. But it started to show. If y'all are loyal supporters of me, y'all know when I did that video, when I said, check on y'all people. What video was that? It was what video was that? I'm going to show y'all. I think I had locks too at this point. I started to make like drastic changes within like myself because I didn't feel pretty no more. I felt like I had lost myself so bad that I was trying and I was trying, I was trying, I was trying to find myself again, but hold on, y'all. Let me show y'all what video it is. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, it was this video. It's okay not to be okay. Depression, it was this video at the bottom. That's when, that was a year from now. Um, yeah, that's when I had ended up locking my hair, and I was just making so many changes, and I feel like I knew what was wrong with me, but I didn't want to tell the world what was really wrong with me, and it was because I felt like everything was just falling apart. I wasn't happy. Um, so I was making so many changes within myself, trying to find myself again, trying to feel pretty again, because of course he will always call me fat bitches, and like he would just mentally and physically abuse me pretty much, verbally. He would like just abuse me, and it was like I felt like he was trying so hard to break me because he knew how strong I was. And I'm not gonna say, um, what I am gonna say is he bent me a little bit. He did. He bent me a little bit, but he didn't break me. Um, After me getting my locks, um, I cut all my hair off one day. I came into the work. Mind you, I was still working. Of course, this was after my baby. I was still working. I had this best friend, so I thought this person was my best friend, but she really wasn't my best friend because I would go to work every day and I would like have mental breakdowns. I'm talking about breakdowns. Like I will go into work 30 minutes late because I'm just outside, boohoo crying, and she'll be there for me and she'll just hold me and she'll just be like, it's okay, it's okay. And like I thought she was my friend, but she really wasn't because she was like telling all my business to people around the job. So her friends that, really didn't like me. So I really didn't have nobody. Physically, I didn't have nobody because who I thought were my friends really wasn't my friends. Um, of course, I had my fave, but at the time she was living out here in Vegas where I'm at now. So I didn't have nobody because I didn't tell my grandmother. Um, I didn't tell my mom. Like I said, nobody knew because I wasn't ready to give up on my marriage, and I was doing everything to try to make it work. So nobody knew nothing. I was just trying to thug it out and hold my marriage together. And yeah, so the person who I thought was my friend really wasn't my friend. So I really didn't have nobody. And so one day I just came home and I just cut my locks off, and I was just like I was feeling like I had so much negative energy on me. And I just one day I sat in the mirror and I just started chopping my hair off. And I texted him and I said, I cut all my hair off. Can you take me to the barbershop so they can like do something to my hair because I cut all my hair off. And so he's like, you lying? And I'm like, I'm not lying. Like I cut all my hair off.
And if y'all know, that's when I went bald, and I knew I had hit rock bottom. Like, I've never been that low in my life. Like, cutting all my hair. Like, I've chopped my hair off before, but it was just like something that, oh, I want to do a little cute edgy cut. No, this was, I just came home, sat in the mirror, and just chopped my hair off one day. Um, then I think when I told my mom is when things. Nope. Let's rewind it again. Um, cause I missed a few parts. But did I have my hair? No, no, because the house situation. Um, before I chopped my hair off, I think before I even locked my hair, um, it was the house situation. I'm gonna do a part two. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a part two, and I'm gonna tell y'all about the house situation, and how I originally ended up out here in Las Vegas, because Las Vegas, um, I had to make this move. Like, I had to make this move. So we're gonna stop it at here. After I've had my baby, um, life started really going downhill for me. Like I said, I was going through postpartum. I was doing everything on my own. And yeah, life just was, it was lifing. Life was kicking my ass at this point. And nobody knew. And I was just trying to hold my marriage together. Like, I was trying to be the glue to my marriage, and it just wasn't working. But that is the first part of this story time. And yeah, make sure y'all stay tuned to part two. It definitely get way more juicier, and a whole lot of more details. And I'll tell you guys more. But thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry to end this story like that, but um, I did miss a few parts, because it's certain stuff that I am embarrassed about that I don't want to speak about. Um, but it's these parts that I'm not so embarrassed about, because it's just like a lot of people go through it. They just don't speak about it. Um, but this is something that I went through in my marriage, something that I'm still healing from, and so it's my story, and I'm gonna tell it, and he knows that I'm gonna look at you, because I know you watch me on my YouTube channel, and thank you for supporting me. But he knows everything that's coming out of my mouth is 100% absolutely the truth. And whether he deny it or not, this is something that he has to take to his grave. I don't. Like, it's like I went through it, I got through it, and it's my story. I'm gonna tell it, but you and I both know everything that I'm saying is the truth. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that post notification bell so that you get all my videos once they get uploaded, and you do not miss another freaking video. Again, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned to part two, because it is going to lead up to how I ended up out here and a lot of other events. So make sure you guys stay tuned to this video, the next video, and I am going to be dropping it a little bit after this one. So make sure you guys watch it, and thank you guys for always supporting me.